to see your PPT.
Yes. Okay, are you able to see?
No sir. Click on share button, sir. Up arrow.
Sir?
On your screen, yes sir.
Okay, now just I am moving on the presentation. How to identify MBA project. This is the title with which I am going to start my project work presentation. This internship or the project work is a work experience offered by an organization for a limited period of time. Usually, it varies from 2 to 6 months period also. But most of our management internships or the project wise, I think we are confined to 2 months, that is 8 weeks between first and the second year. And this is mostly for public organizations and the non-profit organizations or the government organizations, where you will have the different types of the department and sections. In a wider area, you will have more of the exposure towards this practical experience. And this is mostly for an undergraduate courses. I mean, the students of the management program who are pursuing this management program, and just in order to acquire some.
Excuse me, sir.
Please.
Can you maximize your PPT?
This is the maximum.
F5.
F file.
Yes sir, yes. Done
sir. How is now?
Yeah, we have got it now. We got it.
Okay, right. Okay, this is from the student point of view of the management course, where your theoretical things are going to be see how it is in the practical situation, and you can also gain some practical exposure, and you can pick up some of the relevant skills during this field work. And with that, the employers are also going to be helpful this project work in order to identify who is a serious student with respect to this project work, and how he is going to be helpful in order to resolve their various problems or the issues. So with that context, I think this project work is useful even for the organizations also. And it is as I already told you, it is an academic exercise assigned to a student, and you are going to work with the senior employees, the organization which you are going to be selecting for your project work. And you have already earned the theoretical concepts, and now you are going to see and how the theory is going to be helpful to practice in the real life situations. That is how I think it is going to be helpful to the student. And the other thing is, in some of the occasions, you may be take it as a serious for either some of these organizations, you may be asked to enter into some sort of a contract. I mean, some sort of an agreement, and this is how I am going to take up my work, and this is the amount of seriousness I am going to do. This is the period, this is the topic, where that is how I think you will have some sort of formalized documentation while you are taking up of this project work. And you are also happy. I think you may be also lucky. In some of the cases, these organizations may also pay some amount of the honorarium during this 2 months period for carrying off some of their live problems through this project work. And as I already told you, I think in some of the cases it may be just some sort of a dummy one, which is going to be for an academic purpose, and I'm not going to take it very seriously. And some projects are of live projects which are going to be helpful to the organization also. And it is you have to decide if it is going to be a live project. Definitely, it is not only for the employer, and for you also, for your recruitment, it is going to be helpful to you. If it is a dummy project, it is only for the namesake, just in order to complete your course of the study. So that is you have to decide yourself. And my advice to you is, let us sit with the employer or the concerned chief executive, decide yourself a serious problem of the organization which has been working, which has been suffering, and try to find out the solution for that particular problem where the organization has been suffering. With that, I think it may be helpful even for your recruitment also. And now in this present scenario, you may be knowing the whole education system is going to be turn around towards this online system of the instruction. And this project work is also no exception. I think we have to go. And that disadvantage or because of this COVID problem, let's try to convert it into as a challenge and make it as an opportunity to go for your project work more useful for your career as well as for the organizations also. And now how it is a virtual thing and make it as a reality. A virtual project work, it is going to be helpful for you in supporting this with the ICT technology. I think it is not a big issue for you. And even with this small, I mean the iPhone, you are able to catch hold of every individual in this world. In such a case, it's not at all a big issue for you. Even the representatives of the organization, they're also having fully equipped with this electronic gadget, with which I think you're also going to be saved a lot. With this new trend, the virtual internship is more suitable for the students of a higher level of education, more particularly this management program. Every student is having the required knowledge in order to operate the ICT technology. And with your communication skills and convincing ability, I think collection of the data is not at all a limitation to you. Let you make use of this as a helping aid for making your work more successful. And you can also cross the borders of the country. So while you are carrying this project work through this ICT technology, by using this ICT technology. But as I have already told you, while selecting this project, the student should be able to identify the organization where you want to carry your work for your better recognition and for a better project work. And while you are selecting the topic, let you consider what is my specialization to the extent possible. Let you choose your topic, consent to your specialization, so that no others can ask you why you have taken a problem which is not relating to your specialization. Because why you are taking it so and so as your specialization? Because you have a special interest. So in such case, let you carry your project work also only in the interested areas. That is only the thing, but it doesn't mean 100% your project work should be only within the specialization. But there are several practical issues in that department or in that situation. I think because of the insufficient number, you may not be allowed to choose your own specialization where you are having the more interest. But I think you maybe go to the next proximity to that one. In such a case, once you find out a problem which is very interesting beyond your specialization, also you can also go for it. But to the maximum extent, try to select the topic which is related to your specialization, so that I think it will be very easy for you to make yourself more specialized in that particular segment. And the other thing is, while you are selecting this topic, instead of selecting on your own, I think let you go for discussion with your guide also, so that you may be given some extra information and what type of topics and what is the feasibility of those topics. And that information also I think you can get from your guide. And your guide mostly from your faculty, one of the faculty members. And in some of the occasions, I think you can also select a guide from the organization where you are taking your project work. So that I think you will have an advantage even while collecting the data, and how you can very smoothly get the information from the organization if you are having an internal guide from the organization besides your faculty as your guide. But while you are selecting, as I already mentioned to you, a problem well defined is half solved. Hence, the students must have the clarity over on what is my problem, what is the relevant data should I collect, who are the target group, when, how, in what way I should collect the data. So in this particular occasion, in this particular point, so the present scenario, physical presence in that particular organization may not be convenient, may not be possible. in such a case? And how do I collect the data? Through online. That is more important. To my knowledge, I think getting up the data, even the online questionnaire, and even while contacting them through online is not a difficult task, provided if you are having the seriousness to collect that data and the reliable data. But while you are collecting this information, what is the relevancy and how much is required? What is the size of the sample? What is the total population of that particular organization? And these are the things which you have to sit and sort out these things with your respective guides. They are having the experience and they may have the foresight what type of the problems you will be encountered in course of time, and they will help you to resolve those things in the initial period itself, instead of go over and carry the whole thing. By the end of the day, I think you may be close your eyes and show your hands, sir, these are all the difficulties. By the time, I think you already lost the time and all these things. Instead of having those things, that you have sit with your guides and discuss all those things and select the right problem and the right data and the amount of the data, from whom should we collect the data, and all these things. You must be very serious in the beginning itself, so that the whole period of your project time is very smooth. It may go on, and finally you will get Pakka data and reliable data, with which I think you can do your project work and you can get your results more realistically. And if you are not having the clarity, I think the whole thing is going to become very big mashup. And coming to these objectives, your objective is, the first one is, so let you complete or confirm your, let you go for your academic activity. The second one is, to what extent my exercise is going to be useful to the organization where I am going to take up my project work. These two things you have to keep in mind. And the second one is, for every project work has its own objectives. What are the various objectives for which you are doing your project work? And these objectives are of two types: the primary objective and the secondary objective. The primary objective, in the sense, say for example, if you want to conduct an inquiry with respect to the sales performance of so-and-so organization. So while you are studying this sales performance, let you take for the last few years, maybe last one decade, and how the sales are moving for so-and-so organization. If the sales are in increasing trend, no worry. If the sales are in a declining trend, now the issue is why the sales trend is declining. What are the various causes for it? To what extent the organization is responsible for this declining trend? Or is it because of the economic situation, the economic crisis? However efficient of the organization during this COVID period, no organization is having a successful sales performance. So that is beyond their control. So likewise, let us diagnose the reasons for this sales performance, sit and sort out the issues and discuss with the executives who are concerned to it, to what extent they are responsible, to what extent it is because of the internal problems or external issues, and all these things I think you can thoroughly discuss. So while you are discussing these things, I think you may have internal issues or external issues. If there are external issues, I think you and I can't do anything. If there are internal issues, I think you can sort out those things and you can see and to what extent you can resolve those things. The secondary objectives are, I think you can also conduct some sort of SWOT analysis for the organization, and there are several issues regarding the technical, legal and operational, and the other issues are also you can come up as your objectives of the project work. And whenever you have selected a topic, yes, in order to solve that issue or the problem, if you say it is a problem, what is the relevant data for identifying the causes for it or the reasons for the failure and all these things? For that you have to collect the data. So data collection, you may have different methods. Either you have to go for personally or self-administrative surveys, that is by approaching the different target groups or the respondents, and where there is some physical appearance is physical presence is a must, and those things may not be possible during this particular period. And how do I will collect the data, let you think it. And while you are seriously following these things, it may not be having any limitation for you. You can also approach through online or by sending your questionnaire by preparing very effectively, and you are able to collect the data through online also. And anyway, for online surveys, you may have email or Google Docs or Survey Monkeys, etc. I think while you are making use of these things, let you see the authenticity and the reliability and the best the source of the best use of these things without having any effects in the sense even not having the response is also an effect. And how do I make use of these various approaches more effectively in order to get the reliable information is very, very important. Nowadays, I think you have been consuming your mobiles, even this present generation for various purposes. So likewise, this is also one of the very fruitful and useful purpose. Phone administered surveys you can also conduct, and you can get the data from the various people from whom you have to collect the data in order to resolve the problem what we have identified. So here I am going to present some of these topics which are relevant for this current COVID-19 period, as well as the various practical issues the various companies or the organization has been facing, and there is a lot of practical relevance of these topics. I think you can go through those topics, and these are all the various very, very useful topics from the organization point of view, from the society point of view, from the government point of view, from the various stakeholders point of view. These problems are very, very useful to the respective stakeholders, where my young management students should pay your attention to these various topics and let you make your academics exercise more purposeful and useful to the organizations. And particularly coming to the finance area problems, I think you can depend more on secondary data from their annual reports or from the various reports prepared by the government organization or the regulatory authorities or the banking organization or the mutual fund organization. From there, I think you can analyze the past experiences and you can project the future probable probable happenings also. You can forecast based on which you can see and how it is going to be in the future time to come. Likewise, I think you may have the subjects like the banking, insurance sector, and the various other sectors, manufacturing, and how the trends are going on with respect to their production, with respect to their sales performance, with respect to their marketing issues. The consumer point of view, and you can conduct some trend studies based on which I think you can project the future also. And coming to this customer's point of view or the investor's point of view, you can also conduct some sort of an inquiry about how they are feeling. What is their opinions, what is their perception with respect to different services the organization have been providing. Are they happy? Or if they are not happy, what are the various reasons? For rectification of your the problems or the difficulties, you can also suggest the various ways by hearing the feelings of the various stakeholders. And coming to this finance area, particularly from the investors' point of view, what type of the investments they are liking, what they are preferring, what is their perception with respect to different types of the stocks or the funds. So from that angle, you can also collect the data through the online, and you can submit a report which is going to be useful to the society or the government. What is the mindset of the investors, what type of the stocks they are preferring, and what sort of the incentives should be provided in order to turn the investments behavior, investors attitude with respect to the needy areas. So likewise, it is going to be helpful even for the government also. And likewise, these are all the days of the order of the days of mergers, takeovers, and acquisitions, and how these concepts are going to be, how these the financial engineering aspects are going to be helpful towards these mergers or takeovers and acquisitions. What is the impact of these things on the performance? So by go through such type of the studies, you can also suggest the measures or the steps how the government should be moved towards by take it in their policy levels. And every banking sector, I think you may be heard the NPAs, non-performing assets. What is the trend of the non-performing assets? Why these assets are going to become very, very unuseful? I mean, non-performing. What are the various reasons? These are all from two angles. One is when that particular asset is going to become a non-performing, I think you have your own measures. What are the reasons for it? Is it from the borrower's point of view, why he is not able to repay the loan? Or while sanctioning the loans also, are they are very liberal, ignoring all the fundamentals of what they have to be examined before sanctioning of a loan? Why it is turned into a non-performing asset? So from that particular point of view, also I think you can identify the reasons by asking your questions through your questionnaire. And you can also see the executives of the public sector banks and how you are sanctioning the loans and all these things. Why? What are the reasons for it? And these things I think are going to be helpful for the banking sector as well as for the society also, in order to make use of the advances of the banks more effectively used and going to be repaid and not having any non-performing assets. So likewise, and what are the various factors influencing the stock market fluctuations in the prices and the trends of these share markets and all these things. And these things are going to be helpful in order to finance the various industries from the public point of view and also from the government point of view. You can also identify the several steps, several issues or the several suggestions also to make use of this the hard-earned money of the investors to make it a build up of the society. So that is how I think you may have different topics which are in the area of the finance. And these topics of the finance mostly based on the secondary data. Of course, here and also and there also, I think you can consult the executives in order to take their version also or their views also with respect to these various of the issues. And coming to this marketing, mostly in the marketing area, I think you have to collect the data mostly from the customer's point of view, from the dealer's point of view. So while you are collecting these data, I think as I already told you, even if you are going to be allowed, I think your customers are not going to be in that organization where you would like to do your project work. So for that anyway, identify the customers of that particular product from the various dealers or from the various establishments. Take their email IDs or their contact numbers, send your questionnaires. But the only thing what I have been reminding you, it all depends upon how you are serious towards these things. If you are definitely serious to collect the data, you have 1,000 way outs. And don't say, I think it is not possible. If you say it is not possible, it never be possible for you in your entire life. Hence, you must think in different dimensions, take the help of or the guidance of your teacher and also your senior students and also the executives with whom you are going to carry this work in that organization. Take the data, you try 100, at least you will be succeeded with 50% or 40% or 30%. It doesn't not matter how much is the percentage, but how much is the reliability of the data, how much is the sincereness of the data is very, very important. If you are going to ask 100 people, I think from the 11th fellow onwards, I think it is going to be repeating. If such is the case, you need not bother about how many people are going to involve here. How much is the seriousness of this replies is very important. In that context, even the topics in the marketing area, though they are survey based, you can conduct an online questionnaire method in order to collect the data for taking their feedback or their opinions or their perceptions and let you carry your work even in the marketing area also. The topics what I have identified here, that is impact of online advertisements, so consumer behavior towards advertisements, so and effects of consumer behavior on packing or distribution systems, so and the preferences and perceptions of different consumable products and the brand equity of the various services, and the role of the children. I think nowadays the children are also going to be a major decision makers in various family purchases, and the different types of the brands they are preferring and their loyalness, and likewise the distribution channels they have been using, and the effectiveness of the distribution channels. So likewise you can also carry the project works in the marketing area by using the online survey methods. So likewise even while you are selecting the different media mix or the effectiveness of the various types of the advertisements and the advertising medias and the various promotional techniques, and how the dealers are viewing about these things, what is their satisfaction levels, and the purchasing decision making factors, and the post purchase behavior studies, and these things are all the relevant topics which you can focus your attention if you want to carry your project work in this marketing area. And likewise the other important specialization nowadays in the management program is HR area, and you may be knowing among the 4 factors of the production like land, labor, management, and these things capital. I think here is the human resource which are very potential. If you are having an efficient employee, I think he can make use of the other 3 things into his fold, and he can create miracles. Even if you're not having the capital, I think there are several sources of arranging the capital. Even if you are not having the management people, I think nowadays through the consultants you are able to do several of the ways of taking the decisions also. If such is the case, I think by having your human resource very strong, I think you are having a lot of power in your organization to make use of all the other 3 resources very successful. And here the type of the studies you can carry in your project work is what is the recruitment policy they have been using, what are the various lopsidedness of the recruitment policy, and how should we make use of it more effective, and the selection process and effectiveness of the recruitment selection methods, training, and how do we identify the training needs, and what are the various types of the training methods, and how do we appraise the performance of the trainees, to what extent the training is useful for them, and how it is going to be useful for the development of the organization. And likewise, I think you'll have different types of the topics you can choose from the respective organization where you want to carry your project work. And so likewise, I think anyway, they're all very conventional type of the studies. Job satisfaction, that is very, very important. Unless your people are happy, I think you will not have any prosperity of your organization, and how they are happy and why they are not happy. So that is very, very important. Here you have to diagnose the reasons why your employees are not satisfied. What are the various reasons for it? To what extent the organization can make some corrections of those unsatisfied areas of the employees. So likewise, with respect to the various statutory measures, every organization has to follow the different rule of the law in the name of the various acts, and how the people are feeling, having the opinions with respect to the perception towards the safety, health, and welfare facilities, having some scales of these safety, health, and welfare, to what extent the organization is maintaining those standards, and how your employees are feeling about those things. And the other thing is, though it is a very old concept, that is absenteeism and employee turnover, maybe by using the different, the type of the words they are using, maybe the attrition or the retention and all these things, and the basic concepts are absenteeism and labor turnover, employee turnover. So what are the various reasons for this absenteeism? To what extent I think we can overcome such type of the issues, maybe the personal or the organizational things. If it is the organizational things, let you see, maybe the timings is one of the reasons. So let you have the flexibility of the timings also nowadays. All of the IT companies, I think they have been following different modes of the operations. I think even now you can see many of the IT companies, they are happy by sitting the employees in their home, not only from the cost point of view, but also in different dimensions. They are happy, work from home. I think they are very successful for the last 3 to 4 months. Not only in India, even in the abroad also, which this COVID has started somewhere as December, almost